Hello everybody! It's been so long. This is Ominous for Ominous Designs on Responsible Gaming. Welcome back to me. So I was on holidays for well, 2 or 3 weeks, depending on who you ask. I had to go back home to finalize visa immigration stuff. This is very fun and very interesting. You should try it out. This is very enjoyable. But I got to rest. Now I'm just about not jet lagged anymore, which is also awesome. I'm getting back into real life. And tonight we're gonna do a little episode of Luminous Designs, and the theme um, is going to be doing several things. Um, so doing several things is I have, well, how much do I spoil? I have a couple spells over here that are gonna be doing uh, several little things. I just can't introduce without spoiling it, so I'm gonna be showing you stuff instead. That's gonna be much better. So, which one do I start with? Um, I do believe I'm gonna start with. I have the two designs kind of set up in my head, but we're gonna be thinking about them quickly and see if they are viable. So, with this magnificent little illustration here, what I want from this spell is, I'm going to tell you right then and there, it's going to be a modal spell, and I'm going to try and do a, did I want to do a try? I want to do a misdirection and a counter spell, and I want to choose either or. That would be my dream. We're going to think about this. First I'm going to remind myself if I really wanted to do counter spell, because that does surprise me a tiny bit. Yeah, counter. Okay. So counterspell and misdirection. So potentially two counter, like the equivalent of two counterspells. Um, so this is some of the text that we want in there. The rest of the text that we want in there is counter target spell. There. And the twist is choose. How'd you do? Did you choose one or both, or choose up to two? Doesn't really matter, does it? I don't know if, since they went to modal, I don't know if they did choose one or both. Also, my English is terrible, and I always wonder if choose is with a couple of those. I think it is, based on not finding it. So, choose one. Those are modal, but they're fixed versions. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. The old version fixed would say choose one or both. Oh, brutal expulsion. Wonderful. That's exactly what I was looking for. So, now that we basically have the text ready, let's see if that makes sense. First, I want to try and think of, you could almost do mythic rare for this. Oh, maybe not. I want to see if there is such thing as countering two spells. That rings a bell. Um, there is things like counter all spells, right? It's counter squall or something that along the lines. But counter two spells, yes, double negative. Counter up to two spells. So this is very good to know. It turns out I didn't have this in mind. Swear. I didn't have this particular one in mind, but my idea of mana cost for this would be along the lines of this, which is funny because It's very close to this double negative over here. Double negative, I'm assuming not a fantastic counterspell. It is fun to be able to counter two spells, but think about it. Like in a counterspell war, it's not so great unless you start the war. If you start a war, that means they played something, you tried and counter, they try and counter, you counter. At this stage, you can target both the initial spell and the counter spell, and this is great. If you are defending one of your spells with double negative, it is much harder because you do something, they try and counter, and you don't have your second target for the double negative. That being said, you don't have to have a second, but it becomes a blue-blue-red for a counter spell. It's a little rough. I don't know. I wasn't in the standard back then. It might have been that it was a great spell, but I don't know. I mean, it seems fine. So I think since you need two spells to really like take full effect on this guy, I think it's fine. It is powerful, especially if you get to do both, but it's not like a cryptic command where you got a draw. There is no bounce. Bounce finds the target much easier than looking for a second spell, right? So the ceiling is high. It's a misdirection where somehow you also had something to counter. But no, I don't actually foresee that it is very easy to take full advantage of this thing. So I don't think it's overpowered. I do not have a name for it. Yeah, I don't have a name. It would be. Yeah, I get nothing. I mean, I get a lot of very uninteresting things. Something about maybe going into the confusion. What annoys me is that like the picture right there is more a picture of look at my arcane protection here or my arcane shield or whatnot. Um, so I don't really want to go the confusion route. I um, I'll probably go along something along the lines of what you see in Azorius when there is like kind of a ward or an anti-magic word, area, sphere, blah 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 zone. I don't know exactly. I'm gonna have to think a bit about this. So I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. I think it's actually not a great spell, to be honest. I think it's fun, and I think I'm happy it exists because you're gonna get people excited, and people might want to take advantage of it. I think it would be hard to take full advantage of it. Um, but it might also be down to I don't know the type of dynamic in standard or in control mirror matchups, and I don't think of some particular type of dynamic that happens right then and there that this would be very good for. Um, but yeah, I'm not overly convinced. Cool, cool. I just had a I just had a very interesting. I just had an idea that would be very interesting. I don't even know if it's possible by the rules. But imagine you get a spell that says choose up to two, and you give a list of three, and one of them is this spell cannot be countered. That would be super fun. Like either you get the both things, or you get one thing and cannot be countered. That would be sweet. That being said, I need to think for a second. When you choose the modes, I think you need to when you choose the modes, it's not too late. You can still choose and cannot be countered, and it's fine. But I think there might be a little trick there. I don't know. Either way, I think it's cool. I'll find it a name and you will see it tomorrow. We're going to move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is... I need to think of what's best. Do I spoil the image? Do I spoil the mana cost? I'm going to spoil the image. The image is nice, albeit not perfect. But can you guess the colors on that spell based on the illustration? I think you can. It's going to be a Jeskai spell. I'm actually not fully certain of the flavor. I'll tell you more about this in a second. This is going to be... So the idea is this spell is going to do a red thing, a white thing, and a blue thing. Smart. It's going to be... it's going to be 3 little things. I want to be able to target 3 creatures and go aggro tempo removal-y, removal-y. Issues in machining myself. So what's gonna happen is, on top of my head, my initial idea was doing something like this deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature. Return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. Tap up to 1 creature. This is my idea. Actually, so this is silly considerations, but I don't know if they do that on cards. I think they do that on cards sometimes. They manipulate the order of the colors to kind of fit a better aesthetics. And I would love to do the red thing, the white thing, the blue thing. And originally what I wanted to do is order them so that you need to do the damage first, and then if you don't have any more target, if you have another target, you do the bounce second, and then you do the tap or something along those lines. But since then, what I did is I said up to, up to, up to, up to, so that you can do any combination of the 3. I think that's better that way. You don't want to add this restriction to your spell, that it's forced to have 3 targets. That kind of sucks. Now, very quickly, if we were to do damage, tap, bounce, first I'll say that the tap on the white is pretty underwhelming, but it's not like I can exile the creature, and I do not think there is many things that I could do other than that. I could do target creature cannot block, but that would be more red. So I think the white is gonna have to be tap. It's pretty white, especially recently. White has been doing a lot of tapping creatures. He always kind of did, but yeah. This is very nitpicky. I don't know that I like the aesthetics of doing deal damage, tap, bounce, and then there's something else that I would like to know is when do you do things like tap up to 1 target creature, then return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. I think I think it's better aesthetically. I mean, to not just have like do this, do that, but I don't remember the templating. Um, I don't know exactly where I would look for that on the top of my head. The other thing I want to do is take a quick look at. No, I'm gonna look at what you get for a Jeskai. Because I want to do a quick power check. Um, I think bounce tap. Oh, wow, really? There was never Jeskai spells for Jeskai before Kanzo Tarkir. This is amazing. So Jeskai's charm is pretty sweet, right? It's better than bounce, super burn, well, to people, and +1/+1 lifelink to every one of your creatures. So I mean, this doesn't have to be a rare. It's better if it's not. I think it's pretty darn good still. I mean, I'm still actually kind of worried about doing shock bounce together. Like removal plus bounce is something that's pretty darn powerful. I think you get a very consequent boost in power from costing 3 colors, as you can see in Disguise Charm, or Mantis Rider for that matter. But I am not sure, it might still be too powerful. Like I say, it's fairly reasonable to do removal with 2 damage onto somebody, at least one creature, and then removal bounce is, you know, it's far and away, and far and away is just, it's 5 mana. So yeah, and it's sweet. So I think this might be too powerful, but I'm gonna pretend I don't think so. And I mean, I'm hopeful it might be fine, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm hopeful it might be fine. I think it might be a like pretty sick 3-color trick. Then again, 3-color is it's kind of, I mean, 3-color is pretty hard limitations, right? I think this might be called my sturdy arts. I don't remember. I never remember. I think the middle one doesn't have a cap. I wish it was more action driven. I'm gonna be looking into the flavor when we're done and see if I finalize with this Shaolin flavor or if I go for something completely different. Yeah. So then the nitpicking on the text. I don't know. I would be looking at effects that do that do 2 things that are pretty distinct, but do they separate them with a with a with a dot or a comma or something like that. So on it for some reason I was target player puts the top 8 cards in. No, it's not what I wanted. Oh, breaking entering says put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield that you control. It gains in a turn. Oh, that's not what I thought. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of this recto spell. There's a recto spell that reanimate and deals damage, or return to your hand and deals damage. CMC superior to 6, I think, and format return. Morgue Bust. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Morgue Bust deals damage to target creature. This way. Um, yeah, I guess you're not really supposed to have comas in things that are not related one to another. It's too bad because I don't love the aesthetics of it. If you have any opinions or if you know any card that would illustrate such thing, I would love to know. Rather than go like dot dot dot. So Master of the Arts is gonna deal 2 damage to up to 1 target creature, tap onto 1 target creature, return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand. Now there's another thing aesthetically is do I need to say up to 1, up to 1, up to 1? Actually, how does it work when you say up to, up to, up to? Because obviously you cannot cast a spell without a target. I wonder. It's probably not the best either. I wonder. I need a rule geek for that sort of stuff. I think what you could do if you want to play it safe is do something like, you can do Master of the Art deal 2 damage to target creature, and then let the other ones be up to 1, up to 1. That could be a good trick. Yeah, whatever. I think it's fun. It's pretty Jeskai-y. Do something red, do something white, do something blue. I wish the power level was a little more obvious. I think this is very powerful, like I've said many times now. But I mean, it's not an old format that you can do 2 damage and that you can play 3 colors. Turn and burn. Turn and burn costs 5 as well, huh? Yeah. Oops. And turn and burn is also one of those guys where you can get a 2 for 1. You can just destroy the creature that's a 0/1, destroy the creature that takes 2 damage. Yeah, this is, well, I guess this is a straight up 2 for 1. Far and Away is bounce removal for 5. And we get bounce removal tap with the removal being slightly less powerful for 3. And in 3 colors. Yeah, this is rough. This is probably going to be a little too powered. But we will see what people say. Well, I think that's about it for today. I don't want to spend forever because I'm still a bit tired going back to work, etc. So this has been very enjoyable. I hope you like the cards. I'll finalize them tomorrow and post them on bullseye.com, Reddit, and etc. etc. And yeah, do let me know. I guess I'll do some self-promotion now. Do subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, do all the social things, whatever outlet you feel like you want to see the designs. I post on everything. You can see my post on Facebook when they go tomorrow. You can see the alerts on YouTube. You can do all of the things. So do all of them. That's about it. You guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you in about 7 days for another episode. Bye.